지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Welcome back, guys, to the SSL Season 2 from 2016. We're in the midst of the challenge matches here for Group C. And it's getting down to the wire here as we get later on in the day.
That's right. We have aLive is going on to the next round. He's got 6 wins. This is like impossible for him to fall out of here. He's played the most games as well.
It's funny how when we get to these groups, sometimes we pick one guy who we think is going to excel right from the get-go, and it doesn't always end up being that guy.
But you and I both picked aLive to get out of this group, so I guess we can always look at that.
Pat each other's on the back. And
there you go.
There we go.
Here's the actual standings for you guys. The next match will be aLive versus Rogue. Rogue with 0 away wins and a 3-4 record has to win the rest of his games, and then we'll see where everyone else is at. Like we're not going to do every single math problem for you right now, but Rogue has to win here or he's out.
I think if both Rogue and Impact, well, actually that's interesting. They could kick out Deer perhaps because if they both win, I think they both have a map against Deer coming up. So if they both win, Deer will be knocked out, but then probably Jokji has more away wins, so he would get through. So there's still the potential for that. Obviously, Deer looks like he's the guy that's going to get out. Oh, not Jokji.
It's like
Impact.
Yeah.
Not Jokji. Replace Jokji with Impact. So, both the Zerg players.
Yeah, if Deer...
If they both beat Deer, then Deer is out and probably Impact gets in.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance. There's still a chance.
There's going to have to be some headlights for him to mess up that bad, I think. But
I think he may have to lose to Jokji, which
it could happen.
Could happen, It's
on Arena.
Yeah,
so.
And we got that coming up soon. So I think that's match number 24. But first we are going to jump into Rogue versus aLive.
Okay, Rogue versus aLive. Rogue must win everything from here. He's in a similar situation to what SOS was in, where it's like, ooh, a bunch of weird stuff has to happen, Rogue, for you to get through. He's been playing better and better progressively throughout the night. There's a possibility that he can do it.
Yeah, there definitely is. aLive, he can kind of sit back on his laurels. He's like, oh, I won. I already got through. I think he's still going to be playing for pride. He wants to be the guy who gets out 8-2, so people fear him. He can, be picked later, stuff like this matters,
And that would fit the pattern, too, because TY went like 9-0, and then Classic went like 8-1.
Yeah.
So if he goes, like 8-2, there you go. And then the D group, it'll be like Zest with a 7-3.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it just keeps going down there.
A lot of strong players in that group. But guys, Rogue has picked Frost again up against the Terran. The Zergs, both him and Impact, are really liking this map up against Terran, so he picks it here against aLive. Let's see how it goes down right now.
No surrender, no trigger, fingers go, living the dangerous life.
Here we are on Frost, and up in the top right in the red, it is Rogue from the generic Green Wings. Had a slow start, but he's coming back.
Certainly. Too bad he started so slow as well. Yep. This game's been good.
Down the bottom right, it is aLive, the Terran player from Afrika Freaks. The Afrika Freaks. We were talking a little bit about that name earlier on, and I feel like that's kind of part of Afrika's goal. They want to become global, and they're really focused on the global. It's very obvious also even in the production you guys have going over there at Afrika that they're really focused on the global side of things. So I feel like they mirrored their team name off of that too, where it's like it's a sports name, right? It's
exactly.
The LA Lakers, right? Or the city name and team name, right?
Which do you prefer? Because it's the Lakers, the Celtics, the Patriots, the Bruins. I'm from that area. That's all I know. But in esports, a lot of times the team is the Team Liquid. Nope, it's Team Liquid.
They just have a straight up name.
I guess you could call it the Evil Geniuses, but it's not really that. It's Evil Geniuses. It's CJ Entis. It's Samsung. It's SKT.
The Dignitas.
Yeah.
The Envious. Nope. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Only the Afrika Freaks works.
Isn't that interesting? I never really thought about this before today. Do you have a preference? Do you think one is better?
Well, I would definitely side with the traditional side, something that's been used for the longest time. I'm kind of, more in touch with that. I was a big sports fan, I still am, and but at the same
what
time.
Sport? StarCraft?
Hockey.
Oh, hockey, okay.
No, CSGO.
Oh, okay,
there you go.
Hockey, that's neat. Why do you have 3 quarters? Quarters come in 4s. That's weird. Anyways, continue,
What?
please.
No, we have periods. It's not quarters. What? Get out of here.
That's my hockey joke.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you prefer
You successfully tilted the hockey.
Yeah, no, I did.
I'm
I
like,
nailed
what?
you.
You're not serious, right?
I played you like a fool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really like having the team name. I think it can give you more pride. It's there's cool nicknames. I've heard sports fans say cool. The Pats. That's what people say
the
back
Pats.
home. Oh man, the Pats are playing this weekend.
The Habs.
You can't say, oh man, CJ Entis is playing this weekend. You don't have as much as a connection or something.
Yeah, it's the company is. What are they playing? Are they playing baseball?
The thing is, we give them nicknames too. It's you don't call him CJ Entis, you call him CJ.
Yeah.
You don't call it SKT T1 Telecom or whatever. It's SK or SKT.
Yeah,
but
and I'm sure the companies are really happy about that. We keep on saying their company name over and over, and their sponsorship is really working out. But in terms of what is better, I feel like it's just what everybody else does. Right? It's just wow. Actually, let's take a look at this. Beyond and Deer talking to each other, discussing some strategy, but. The esports thing is to have just a company name or the team name where you can't put a "the" in front of it. There's no nickname, right? No "the Freaks" or anything like that. Whereas the esports way, as outside of the Freaks, everything is just Dignitas, Envious, Fnatic, CJ Entis, right? All this stuff. So it's an interesting discussion. Sure.
It is. I'm not 100% sure I feel about it, but I'll be thinking about it more in the future.
Yeah. Come back maybe on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll have a better.
You have an answer for me?
I'll have a better answer at that point.
Okay.
By the way,
about it too.
And before we talk about this game, I want to break some news. Well, it's not breaking news, more I think Byun is going to join Samsung. We have caught him 4 times on camera sitting next to Stork. And we just saw Deer and him talking like they're good old friends.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but I think you're right, Artosis.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's becoming clearer and clearer the more we see
it would
this,
make sense.
Right?
They're one of the teams that kind of needs to pick up another really good player.
It's not like he's in the booth talking to Impact, okay?
No.
It's really clear what's going on here, it seems. So, I don't know when that's actually going to happen, or, it still may not happen. They could be in negotiations, or we're not even 100% sure. Maybe he's just a really good friend of Deer and Stork.
Absolutely. He could just be good friends with them, but I don't know. I keep seeing it, and the way that they were just talking to each other, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know what it looks like when friends talk to each other. Maybe he's already living in the house. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, they're definitely friends.
He's playing so well. He must have great practice partners, right? Samsung would be great practice partners.
Practicing with Armani all the time.
Yeah.
Getting in there, practicing with reality.
Then I looked at the 1,000 won note, and I saw this triangle on the back with an eye in it, and it just made sense.
He's figured it out, guys. Artosis is the prophet.
Yeah.
Reaver being annoying. Gonna be cleaned up.
All right. I guess we can talk about the game, right? It's this is a pretty quick third command center from aLive. Over on Rogue's side, though, look at this. He's going into Zergling upgrades. He is getting the Warren. I wonder if we're going to see a lot of Ravagers coming like we saw before, or do you think it's just going to be a Ling Bane with
Well, then what's the Roach Warren for?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not for safety.
No, you wouldn't think so.
You're not going to be building safety roaches now. It could be Ling Bane Ravager. It's interesting. It's not easy on the gas, that's for sure, but he's already taken all 6 gases pretty fast. So, I mean, well, look at this drop. I mean, it's going to come in, it's going to cancel that 4th base. And that's part of the problem with spawning in these locations. Unless Rogue wanted to put it all the way in the top left of the map, he has to put it there.
Roach speed on the way right now. Baneling speed as well. Infestation pit coming up. Wow, just targeting down those Banelings so quickly. Oh! Actually, a decent connection does force him to lift off.
Yeah, and he is going to be backing off from here. 1-1 completed for the ground units, the melee units, I should say, of the Zerg now. And he is making those roaches, and that's a pretty fast infestation pit.
Yeah, I wonder if he's like going to rush to Hive from this. I wouldn't be too surprised because we've seen more and more success with that out of Zergs, like 3-base Hive type of play. And I mean, Impact almost pulled it off, right? Rogue almost pulled it off. It's one of those almost builds.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I can almost win with this.
Only Dark can really win with it. I think we've seen someone else win with that. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but Dark is the most consistent guy who, you know,
that plays Zerg.
Yeah. Well, nice little drop coming in here. Trading a bit with the mains. Nicely done. And there's that Hive right on the way. The 2 infestors.
Yeah.
No pathogen glands. Upgrade. He's just going to get them clean. Straight out of the factory. No modifications.
Way of speaking. Yeah.
No modifications here.
Yeah. You know, Abathur would be sad, but such is life.
Yeah. And I think it's going to work out. I mean, he's relatively safe. You know, he had to cancel the 4th base once, but it's not the worst thing in the world. He's going to get it up now.
And his creep spread is really, really nice. aLive has done a decent job pushing back creep, but look at that spread. It's all over the place. He's got it up behind all his bases on both sides even. So that's going to buy him some extra time that he needs. He's going to have the extra roaches to tank a little bit more damage. He has speed for the banelings. 2-2 is going to be finishing. Rogue is kind of playing this well, man.
Yeah, I really like the way he's playing with it. I would have liked to see aLive get a little bit more aggressive earlier on. Just try to put on some kind of pressure outside just dropping a couple of times. And that's where Beyond differs a bit from aLive. You know, he'll get onto that creep over and over and over and over and clear it back so that he can have an easy path to that 4th and try to cancel that over and over.
Yeah.
You know, whereas aLive is just like, oh, I'll poke in, but I'm mainly just focusing on getting a million units as fast as possible, and eventually I'm just going to try to beat you with my macro.
To cancel this 4th, he's going to have to do a full attack. And, like, that's a situation where he can win, he can lose. You know, there's a lot of different things that can happen there. Whereas the way that you're talking about that Bjorn has been doing it is like, no, he just snipes that and gets out.
Oh, and look at this. He hasn't cleared up any of the creep, and the banelings are rolling through, and it takes up so much of that bio.
Sick baneling connections right there. The Ultra's Cavern on the way as well. Rogue looking okay. We do have aLive hitting a pretty high supply, though. He's non-stop on this macro. He's continuing to do some harassment as well, which is really annoying here for Rogue.
Rogue, he was trying to save up a bank, but now I think he realizes he needs more Banes, and he morphs 17 of them. He still hasn't dealt with this. Looks like with no medevac over here, he should be able to eventually clean this up, but 11 drones go down, and in fact, aLive backs off. Okay, looks like he just went... No. Oh, he's thinking about it. Okay, it looks like he's just regrouping, and he might go for another attack here in just a bit.
All right, aLive is bringing out all of his units. A huge slew of them coming right now. Single Zergling harassment right there. But
look at all those medevacs.
Yeah, quite a few. Now, he does have fungals. 9. He does have corrosive bile, so there's a possibility he gets a lot of these. Oh, he actually dodges out. Great boost on that medevac.
Yeah, gets out of the way there, and the corrosive biles don't really land, and this is just so much bio. With the Widowmine support, too. Like the run by. Not sure that's going to save his base here, though. He doesn't have many banelings, and the fungals are kind of landing, but there's still so much in the back. Yeah,
he loses that 4th base. This is very much what this matchup looks like in Korea right now. The 4th base dying as the Ultras are about to pop out.
Oh, look at all those Overlords that just went down. He's totally supply blocked.
Oh, man, that's a huge supply block as well. He better lose some of this army.
Even if he does, he's going to be supply blocked.
Yeah, no, this is really tough.
5 Overlords on the way. Is going to give so much momentum to aLive. By the way, back at aLive's base, that run-by is still going on. He's lost 15 SCVs.
Oh, wow. That Zergling run-by doing a fantastic job. If he can actually hold on here, but
all the Titan's plating and the Ultraless Cavern, it all goes down.
That hurts so much. Losing the Ultraless Cavern is not such a big deal, but chitinous plating takes a while. You really need that.
And you also need to rebuild the Ultraless Cavern, you know? And it's hard to do all of this when you're sitting on 3 base, your main is mining out, and you have no support for your Ultraless.
Yeah. Very tough. Look at that. He's sitting under a liberation zone as well. Oh, man. aLive doing a great job later into this game. Early on, it felt like Rogue was doing everything he needed to be able to take this victory, but aLive too strong.
Keep in mind that aLive never took a 4th base. He never even thought about it. There's no command center out there. He's just macroing off of 3 bases and trying to put on consistent pressure. Constant pressure that just never ends here. These Banelings want the Marines.
Yeah, so badly. I don't know, man. I'm feeling very bad for Rogue because he has to win this game to have a shot. And it is, like, technically, I guess, 3 base versus 3 base. He does have ultras, so the game isn't over. But he was, like, if aLive was a little bit later on all this, I feel like Rogue would be at a big advantage right now. Instead, I feel like he's at a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's for sure. We have this nice little run by coming over here. No repair. Just going to run in. The Marines should be able to deal with this. Just annoying at this point.
Forcing some more multitasking, splitting up that army a little bit. Another army moving out for aLive. He has a lot of energy on a lot of medevacs here, so can sustain for a long time. But quite a few Banelings, Corrosive Vials, those do a lot of damage all at once.
Yeah, and here we go. The Ultras in this army definitely going to help out.
Oh my god, that Widow Mine.
Wow. Okay.
So painful. Hits a ton of Banelings there. The 4th base is going to fall again. And he just has no way to actually lock this down.
He has no fungals. He has no more Banelings left. They're morphing. Some Ultras are coming out, and some of the Banelings do morph and come out here and push him back, but he can easily just drop and regroup and go for it again. I mean, Rogue struggling to hold on at this point.
Yeah, this is really difficult. He's making some more Infestors. He's getting some Lings out. Maybe some of this Ling counter harassment damage can occur, but you know, the one thing to really keep in mind is aLive has not taken a 4th base. He's been unable to so far in this game. He's really focusing on just making units and attacking. His bank is really low. So there is still a chance here for Rogue. He just needs to stay very cost efficient.
Another run by into the 3rd base is going to delay a lot of mining here, and that's not a big bank for aLive. He needs to be mining right now from the only bases that he has.
He's floating right now his main command center down to the 4th base area. So that might end up being an area that Rogue needs to attack into, or at least hitting somewhere hard. Dude, these medevacs are just playing him.
Yeah. I mean, this is... Terrans essentially have free reign nowadays, now that Muta's kind of fallen out, you know. You have to rely on fungals or just, you know, aggression to keep the Terran back.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, man.
This is the other option for the Zerg in these positions.
Not a great one either. Okay, the Ling's now going to help him to try to trap some of these units here.
Trying to kite here. He's elongated his army so the Banelings will not be effective. Another drop coming in, and there's nothing back here for Rogue. He has to bring back his entire army to deal with this one drop.
You know, I guess it's okay because he doesn't have a 4th base it needs to be defending right now. Obviously, that's not like a good thing, but
yeah,
the 4th base is up for aLive. His supply is really getting out of there. Oh my god! Like, come on, 4 hit points.
Yeah,
4 is the new 1 as far as today goes.
Well, now it's dead.
Yay!
Cheer from the crowd as the medevac goes down. Finally,
that was an
finally
annoying
killed
area.
it.
Look at that 1 Ultra babysitting that hatchery. I like that.
Yeah, dude. I remember we had a game, it was like cross spawns, I think it was Ragnarok versus, may have even been aLive, or like even Innovation or something. He was sniping bases with 2 or 3 Ultralists. They were cross spawns, so it actually got to that point. It was a fun game. He just killed his own Infestor.
Oops.
At least I'm pretty sure he did. Maybe my mind is just... It's already fried, it's gone, I'm making stuff up, I'm hallucinating.
I'm not even sure where I am right now.
That's how it happens. Well,
I wonder what's in that Overlord.
I think it's Roaches, man.
No, you're wrong. I think there's Queens in there. I think he's going to do a Queen draw.
Hopefully.
Hey, that 1 Ultralist is doing a good job babysitting.
It's really good against only Marines.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of armor.
It certainly does.
Watch, he's going to pick up now and land on the high ground.
Yeah. Are you going to do this all day aLive? He's going to have to send a 2nd Ultra. That's what he needs.
Oh, man. And Rogue, you know, he's really struggling. You can tell that he's trying to piece something together. You know, trying to get out as many Ultras as possible. That's like the 1 unit he wants at this point.
Yeah, if he can get enough Ultras, there's a possibility that he crushes the army of his opponent here. And that would be like the way to do it.
Yeah, and it seems like aLive is responding to the Ultras with Widow Mines and Liberators, which isn't bad.
Oh, does get that Liberator, so that's a really big deal. The 2 Marines continue to drop. I can't believe that this is a thing that's happening.
He can pick that up and land it on the high ground.
Yeah, he should just go drop that again.
Now he's going to try for the other high ground.
4 more Infestors on the way. He's getting a pretty decent count. That's going to be like 7?
Yeah, unfortunately he still doesn't have glands, but
yeah,
if he can delay it
sucks.
for long enough. Oh, look at this one!
That's a fungal right there. And the Ultras come in right now. A bunch of Corrosive Biles going down. And this is the type of engagement he's been looking for, but it's still not enough.
Oh, man. That was about as good as it was going to get, you know? He's so far behind, but he almost took a fight there against aLive. You got to hand it to him. At least he's fighting.
Yeah, it's a rough one here for Rogue. This loss is going to eliminate him from SSL for the season. Still going to give it a try here. He has that new base up. Can he hold on against this army?
That hero 4th base Ultra not going to help out. Not enough energy on these Infestors. They're about to have it. He goes for the Infested Terrans. Not going to be enough.
No, it is not. And this is really the death throes of Rogue right now. Trying to hold on. His 1 base that's mining is over to the left. And that's going to be taken out. Look at that. Immediately aLive picks up a medevac worth and sends it over.
Yeah, GG, there you go, aLive, taking his 7th win of the night and is the big winner so far, whereas Rogue going to go down to 3 and 5.
Okay, so that was actually an away map for aLive as well. Very important to mention. Well, I guess it's not at all.
At this point, he's out, just based on his wins. But
yeah, Rogue is out as well. Without the away wins, I'm almost completely sure that he's out.
I'm like 95% sure.
I don't think that Impact and Deer can lose enough games.
That's the thing, you know. Because Deer and Impact still have a game against each other, so one of them is going to win one of them. And
yeah, and that'll be 4 wins.
They'll put one of them at 4 wins. Maybe it is possible. You know, I actually,
by like that much.
It's really hard, and I think it's going to require both of them losing to Jockji. But hey,
well, I don't believe in the Tooth Fairy anymore. Do you?
No, it's been a while.
Actually, after the other night with SOS coming so close to making it in with all those crazy things that had to happen.
I want to believe. You know, I want to believe, but
I feel. Have you ever seen that movie, The Santa Claus, with Tim Allen?
Yeah. A while, like I don't remember.
Where
most
like
of
people
it,
just
but
like have to believe in Santa or something like that. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't believe and he becomes Santa. I don't want to give you a spoiler.
No,
but like,
I remember
something about
the
like
plot,
we want to
but-
believe or like you know there's a little bit of kid in all of us or something.
Yeah. So
Rogue's pretty dead though.
yeah, he's pretty screwed.
Oh, the thing is, like, even if he goes 5-5, right?
well,
The tie breaks just are never going to be there for him.
Yeah, let's see who he'd have to beat. Actually, he's set 23. He's going up next against Jockji, which he can win.
He can technically make it in, right?
He can go 5 and
Deer
5.
only has 2 away wins, so maybe. No. I hate trying to guess this.
No.
I hate
This is the fun part. It's
this.
because slowly over the course of the cast, we become more and more insane because it's been like, you know, we're on hour 8 at this point. So then we try to do math on stream at the same time. And generally, you know, like Hearthstone casters that haven't been casting for this long, they try to do math in the first game and they can't do it. So we're trying to do even more complicated math.